Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Oscar Kilimos. Happy joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope your weekend is off to a fantastic start. We have a new day, which means a new NBA Player Prop Parlay to share with you guys. Apologies for no video yesterday. If you can't tell by my voice or by my awful looking appearance right now, I've been battling a nasty ass virus the past couple days. Been pretty sick. Tried to get the video out yesterday, just couldn't get through it. But doing my best today to try and get through this as fast as I can before my voice absolutely goes out. Thank you very much for all the nice comments yesterday, guys, knowing that I posted to tell you guys I was out. So many nice comments. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you guys. We didn't get to do Freaky Friday yesterday, so like I said in yesterday's post, we're going to be postponing Freaky Friday to today. So I have a 5-leg parlay to share with you guys. You know what Freaky Friday is. Every Friday, I give you a 5-leg parlay, looking at odds of plus 900 or higher. So we didn't get to do it yesterday. We're going to do it today. The last 5-leg parlay we gave you on Monday, which was in honor of 50,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We cashed it, plus 1063 odds. So we are on a hot streak right now. We've hit 2 parlays already this week. We're up over 10 units on the week. I've given out 14 player props this week. We've hit on 10 of them. It's over a 70% hit rate. And on the season as a whole, I've given out 146 player props, and we've hit on 115 of those. That's almost an 80% hit rate. So overall, we have been on the money with our props. And this week, a couple of those parlays have cashed pretty big for us, including our last show. Our last show on Thursday that I did before I started getting really sick. We cashed a 3-leg parlay plus 277 odds. So we are on a hot streak this week. One video left. I'm not doing a video tomorrow. Let's finish the week off really strong here and cash on another big parlay. So without further ado, 5-leg parlay coming at you right now. All right, guys, going to kick it over to the Outlier screen now. You know what Outlier is. They are the sponsor of every NBA Player Prop Parlay video. They are the best sports betting tool on the market. Link in the description below. You get a 7-day free trial when you use our special link. There's no better way for me to show you guys what Outlier is all about than to just show you. And that if you watch our videos, we basically go through every player prop, and I'll show you all the data that Outlier provides. So, starting off first leg of our 5-leg parlay, we're targeting the Sixers-Nuggets game, which kicks off at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets over 24.5 points. Now, when you look at the trend here for Jokic, you see a lot of green. He's covered this in 9 of his last 10 games, 90% hit rate. And even when you stretch that data out to his last 20 games, 14 of his last 20 games, 70% hit rate. And then you look at the 2023 season as a whole, 71% hit rate, 32 out of 45 games this year. He has cashed this over of 24.5 points. Now, this right here in particular is the reason why I love this prop. You see, in 2 of the last 3 times that he's matched up with the Sixers, including the one time they played this season, he has cashed this over. Now, it's been pretty close. You see here on January 28th of last year, he had 24 points versus them. And then each of the last 2 meetings, one being in March of 2023, the other being just last week, January 16th, he had 25 points. So he has come around close to this number each of the last 3 times he's played Philadelphia. And if you look at the right side of the screen, although Joel Embiid is having an incredible season defensively, these Sixers are bottom 3 in the league in points allowed to opposing centers, giving up about 20 points per game to centers, the 27th in the league. So, solid defensive matchup. He's covered it each of the last 2 times he's played the Sixers, including one time this season. Again, he's covered this in 9 of his last 10 games and a 71% hit rate on the season. Pretty good data for the first leg of our 5-leg parlay. All right, cruising along here, guys. Second leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going with the Clippers-Celtics game. It kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Kawhi Leonard of the Clippers under 28.5 points. Similar to Jokic, you're going to see a lot of green on here. 9 of his last 10 games, he has cashed this under of 28.5 points. The one time he didn't was on January 10th against Toronto Raptors. He had 29 points, but otherwise, he has been cashing this under consistently. Look at the last 20 games. Not as impressive of the data, but still overall pretty good. 13 of his last 20 games is 65% hit rate. And when you look at the 2023 season as a whole, you'll see a 74% hit rate. 29 out of 39 games he has cashed this under. So overall, he's been consistently cashing this under. And when you look at the head-to-head data, now there's not a lot of recent data because he hasn't really played Boston that much. But in the last 2 meetings versus the Celtics, he cashed this under. Once on December 29th of 2022. The other December 12th of 2022. He cashed at 25 points and 26 points. And if you look at the right side of the screen in the defensive matchup versus the small forward position, Boston They are top 10 in the NBA. They don't give up many points. Only 19 points per game allowed to the small forward position. That is sixth best in the NBA. So solid defensive matchup. It's a trend that he's been covering at a 74% rate this season. And the last 2 times he played Boston, he covered this under. Really great spot here for the second leg of our parlay. All right, we are cruising right along here, guys, as I try to power through this here. Again, flu game performance for me. Don't call me a hero, but listen, I couldn't even get out of bed this morning, and somehow I dragged myself down these stairs. You know why? Because I love doing these videos for you guys. I love this community. So let's keep going here. Third leg of our 5-leg parlay. We have the Jazz-Hornets game. It kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are going with John Collins of the Utah Jazz over at 19.5 points plus rebound. If you watch my NBA Player Prop Parlay videos, you'll know that John Collins has been a fan favorite of mine this year in terms of betting props, and for good reason. Look at this prop here. He has covered this in 7 of his last 10 games, including his last game. We actually had this prop in our last parlay on Thursday. It was one of the reasons why we won, was that John Collins points plus rebounds prop. He's covering this at a 76% hit rate this year. He's covered it in 32 out of 42 games this season, this over in 19.5 points plus rebound mark. So a 76% hit rate on the year, not too bad. 32 out of 42 games, like I said. Now here's the defensive part of it, right? Look at the right side of the screen here. There is no head-to-head data for this prop, even though he was in the same division as the Hornets. Because he's on a new team this year, they don't put it on there. I'm not really sure why. Now, versus power forward, you're going to look at this and see it, and you're going to say, well, that's not great. The thing is that John Collins, the majority of the season, has actually slotted as the Jazz's center. And look at them versus centers just down low. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. Bottom 3 in both points allowed and rebounds allowed to the center position. He slots a lot of minutes at the center position this year for the Jazz with him and Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen playing more of the 4 role for them. So, yeah, John Collins, solid spot, solid defensive matchup. Overall, the Hornets are bottom 10 in both points allowed and rebounds allowed. Not a good defensive team. And he's been covering at a 76% hit rate this year. So, solid prop for the third leg of our parlay. All right, guys, fourth leg of our parlay here. We're targeting the Lakers-Warriors game, which kicks off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Taurean Prince of the Lakers over 8.5 points. Again, really strong data here. He's covered this in 9 of his last 10 games. And if you stretch that data out to his last 20 games, you see he's covered this in 17 of his last 20 games, 85% hit rate. On the season as a whole, he's hitting at 66%, so still overall in the season pretty solid, 29 out of 44 games. But you'll see here the last 20 games, he's really started to find his rhythm in terms of scoring. You see a couple of duds here and there, but overall he has been scoring quite a bit. No head-to-head data for this prop either, but you look at the defensive matchup versus the power forward and the small forward position, which is the 2 spots that Taurean Prince logs his minutes. You'll see they are bottom 10 in points allowed to small forwards, and they're about middle of the road, slightly bottom half of the league in points allowed to the power forward position. Overall, a solid matchup here. And again, Taurean Prince, he's been covering it last 20 games, 85% hit rate. We just need him to score 9 points. That's it. All right, guys, fifth and final leg of today's parlay. Comment flu game if you made it this far into the video. If you're still watching, we just passed the 8-minute mark. Comment flu game if you're still watching here for the fifth leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going with De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings against the Dallas Mavericks over 24.5 points. Now, I was really tempted to take from this game Luka's under in points coming off the 73-point game he had last night. I don't expect Luka to have another big scoring night tonight, but I do like this spot here for De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points. Now, he's only covered this in 4 of his last 10 games. The last game, again, we had this in a player prop the other day. He had 29 points. We're riding with it again. We had points plus assists last time. This time we're going just points. Now, here's why I love this. So, you look at the last 10 games, not great. Last 20, a little bit better, 55% hit rate, 11 out of 20 games. And we look at the season as a whole, the 2023 season, in totality, you got a 68% hit rate, 25 out of 37 games. So he has consistently cashed this all season long. But right here's why I really love this prop. He has covered this in each of his last 4 matchups versus the Dallas Mavericks, including the one time they played this season. He had 30 points against them back on November 19th. But each of the last 4 matchups, he's scored over 30 or more points. 3 of the last 4 times he's played them. The only time he didn't was on April 5th of last season. He had 28. So consistently been covering it. Look at the defensive stats for Dallas. They are a bottom 10 team in points allowed to give 118 points per game. Kyrie Irving, not exactly known for his defense. So great defensive spot here. And again, he's covered it at a 68% hit rate this season. And each of the last 4 times he's played the Mavericks, Again, cut me a little slack here, all right? It's battling through it right now. But all right, guys, here is our 5-leg parlay ticket. You see all 5 legs are on there, plus 949 odds. Not half bad. You look at it here, what legs. Now, again, DraftKings, it's basically a DraftKings exclusive. 2 legs you can find on FanDuel for plus 146. But if you want to bet the parlay, and I say it all the time, I'm not sponsored, but DraftKings, they are the way to go. Plus 949, not half bad, guys. That is it for me. Thank you very much for watching again. Apologies, I know I look rough right now. I sound rough, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys because we missed yesterday. And coming off our win on Thursday and the strong week we've had, I want to finish the week off strong here. So let's try and see if we can get another big parlay. We get another big winner. We're up over 10 units on the week already. Whether we win or lose today, we had a massively successful week. Thank you to everybody who watched. This is the most watched week we've had in the history of the show. Most likes, most comments, all that stuff. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you haven't already. Until next time, hope you're all winners.